Hi, I'm Molly Favre with Carolina Crown.
I'm Rick Subel. I'm the artistic director for the Carolina Crown. Right here, right now, as a concept, started from how precious it is to have that 15 minutes in front of an audience. I don't know. I know when I was a performer, the moment when you age out, if however long that's going to stay a thing, you knew you were done on this particular stage, and all the chances, every town you went to, felt loved doing this niche activity that we do, and it's very few places that you get to feel this special. So, we wanted to create a show where we could really dig into the connection between the performers and the audience, and then in a million different ways, how can the audience feel integrated into the design of the program? In a lot of ways, when you watch a show, it's being performed at you and you're responding to it like normal, but what if we could really dive into ways that the audience could get together and be involved in this? So in our pre-show here, we took the tone of like, if you're in Universal Studios, and you're hearing, sort of the snarky narrator walk you through a ride or whatever, because we wanted the show to be a thrill ride and to sort of be enjoyable from that level.
The really cool thing about, first of all, the color guard is there's so many parts of the field that are almost like a neon version of something else that's already on the field, but the whole turf is this bright, this like dark green, rich green on the field. So then the color guard is in like the neon version of that. And then it's cool because when you look at the core and what they're wearing, the horns, the percussion, they're in those deep purples. And if you look at the props are the neon bright version of that. The print on here was kind of plays off the Part 2 silk that you just saw with the kind of lavenders and lighter tones, but then adding in the blues to really cool down the side 2, and with the connection of the fabrics on side 1, you really see like a warm side and a cooler side of the field. There's little light spectacles and things so that they kind of popped through with their white tops and just looked like a part of the fabric. I was really, really happy with how that turned out.
Those performers know they're making the show in real time. They're not just doing it the way it was rehearsed, even though technically they are, but there's a possibility that something may go differently, and that thrill keeps it real inside them too. And so that was another reason why some of these choices were made. Like you're laying out fabric in a special particular shape, and it's 30-mile-an-hour winds in like Arkansas, and it's like, well, that's a live show. And so I think like as a concept, that was something also to explore. It's just the thrill of anything could happen tonight. And in the larger context of the performers, like I mentioned earlier, you get that show with 10,000 people and you get that show with 2,000 people, and just by the energy of the humans together sharing space, there's going to be something slightly different. But it really forced the performers in the core to step it up and to give that smaller crowd that 10,000 member crowd experience in terms of like energy, excitement, thrill, beauty, passion. All of those levels.
This was you can start to see, since their sashes are gone, but the pant leg on the horns was almost like a fin, so you can really see it move as they march. All right, closer flag. Bringing out the pinks, connecting to the uniforms with the tips and the yellows. So what kind of started out as the silks at the beginning of the show being a piece of the horns, now it's reversed and it plays off the color guard uniforms here in the closer, getting warmer towards the pole.
I always like to say, you know, begin with the end in mind. You know, I know that, you know, any great show for us with the Jeff Sacktick on the team allows us to really open up and fly. And, you know, the integration of all the things we used in the show as a tapestry, kind of littering and painting the field at the same time. The infinity prop finally weaving everything and pulling it together. The kaleidoscopic craziness of the staging and the drill. The energy of the sound design. Drawing the audience back in. Everybody's on their feet. And just like that, you know, 10,165 people are connected in a moment that's done. And, you know, it'll live on video aplenty. But again, when you start a season and you hope the audiences, when they leave, are still jazzed about that thing they saw. And, you know, it's like, I was there when that happened kind of thing, is that the show left that much of a memorable, I mean, everybody strives for that great show and to be understood and to nail all other things and to, you know, leave an impression. But, you know, for that audience who went bananas that night for these performers, those people got to say I was there when it happened. And that's what Right Here, Right Now was all about.